Hey, I know you guys have already heard my tone, but I just wanted to go over it real quick. I have my guitar set to the bridge position, both tone knobs at 0, volume's at around like 5 right now, and key is usually when playing it, you want to palm mute to give this sound. And for the actual like knobs itself, a Fender Frontman 15G, the bass is at 10, the mids are at 6, the treble is at 2, and gain is at 10. Distortion is on right now. And this tone mixed with palm muting and bends can lead to some really great results, like I'll show you. That was a shoddy example, but still, that can kind of encapsulate what you can do with this tone. And I feel like this tone might work because my guitar might be a little faded. I mean, that might help. Maybe a little wear and tear might help. Don't go out of your way to ruin your guitar, though. Definitely don't do that. But I think maybe the action being set off might help. I don't know. All I know is that for this tone, you want drop C, tone knobs at 0, bridge position on the pickup selector, 10 bass, 6 mids, 2 treble, distortion on, palm muting. And you don't want to do power chords. This is what power chords sound like. You want to use your full finger. You don't want to do this formation. So instead of doing this would sound like this. You want to do this. So this would sound like this. And then something that sounds kind of nice is when you kind of do that, just a simple do. So that'd be on any fret like this. Or you could also do it in the other direction, kind of like. And then with this tone, you're better off not doing multiple frets at once. Better off to stick in one at a time like this. If I was doing multiple frets, it'd be like this. Okay, it could work if you could pull it off. Like maybe I could pull it off. Yeah, you could pull it off, but generally with this tuning, with all this setup, you want to stick with single frets. So kind of like this. And then another part of this guide, you could call it, is pre-nut bends. This is the nut. It's white, it's nut. And then here's a string. Usually use your thumb. Press up and down, kind of creates like a string bend. But it's a little cooler, It can be used in better examples like this. So that's another part of this guide. And then another thing you could do is you could work your way from the high strings to the bottom strings like this. generally anything that sounds kind of thrashy, like, if you've seen my earlier videos, if you've seen my thrash, jam sesh, whatever I called it, you'll recall the riff where I went do-do-do-do-do-do, and something like that. In this tuning, it would sound like this. And so it sounded a little more suiting for this. Generally, like, this gear setup will leave you with more new metal like Slipknot or thrash, maybe Metallica, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not that well versed in the metal genre, but it'll lead you with results more akin to that. Another tip is to not let your pick touch the pick guard, because it'll make this noise. You don't want to hear that while playing, you just want to hear this. You don't want to hear this. It's annoying. It's annoying. It's like having a little tick in your ear. It's just like, you don't want that. You want to try and keep minimal contact with the pick guard, if any at all. So, you want to have the tip of the pick basically at eye level. Or basically, you'll be holding the pick like this. Then you want this to basically be at eye level with the string. It should be like this. So you don't want the tip of the pick near, you don't want this part near the pick guard. You don't want this sound. You want this sound. And then another thing about this is string skips are possible, but they aren't really worth it since E and what would be D are tuned both C. So a string skip would sound like this. Which it does kind of sound cool, but usually doesn't really work out. I mean, you could probably go like this. Yeah, and then another thing you generally want to do is instead of bending, using only one finger, you want to use two. You want to get your finger inside the fret line. You want to get it inside both sides of the fret wire. You don't want this. You don't want this. You want this. This means you have more control over what you're bending. So instead of a weak bend like this, you have this. See how much cooler it sounds? You don't sound lame. It's basically just for ease control and for practical reasons. So that was my totally useless guide on totally useless setting. And now I'm just gonna try and wait this out for like 10 minutes or something, see how long I can get this. And while I'm playing this, I do want to give you a nice reminder that hammer-ons are always welcomed. Hammer-ons will produce like a sick tone like this. Hammer-on. Hammer-on. It sounds good. It'll help you make your guitar sound better. It'll help your playing sound more professional. Or maybe it'll make you sound amateur. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, that was my totally useless 10 minutes of rambling. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.